Summer going to my senior year of college, I created my own self-serve ad platform called Caffeine Digital. That year, we did over $8 million in revenue. I actually created WorldStar on Instagram before they did.
What's like the biggest person you've blown up on RapTV? Can you talk about that or no?
Kid Leroy definitely comes to mind. So we were super early on with him. Jack Harlow too. Super early. I actually have a Jack Harlow plaque on his What's Poppin'.
That's nice.
Because yeah, like our team went to like his first, concerts. Like I remember they showed me his Instagram when he had like 50,000 followers. And I'm like, why are you guys posting this guy's freestyle? Like, who the fuck is this guy? We couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. We sold so much.
Damn.
Our first Black Friday, I don't know, we did over $1 million in revenue that weekend. And it was all hands on deck fulfilling fucking orders.
Yeah.
It's like, this is insane, But I gained weight. I got fucking stressed. I was like, this is terrible. This is Daniel Snow. Welcome to episode 19 of New Money Podcast.
Yeah. New Money Talks.
New Money Talks. This is going to be a good one.
We got Dan Snow here, who is a serial entrepreneur.
I don't even know.
Real estate, ecommerce brands, Snow Agency.
RapTV.
I could drop the name, yeah? Your agency name, you're cool with that.
Of course.
Yeah, we could drop. Some people don't like talking about.
Some people don't like to talk about their name.
No.
Some people are weird. But RapTV, so you've kind of done it all. But
New Jersey native too.
Yeah, New Jersey native.
Now in Miami.
Kind of the Edgewater, Bergen County area where we grew up as well. But I guess for those that are watching or listening that don't know who you are, what's your 2-3 minute sales pitch on kind of who you are, how you got to where you are right now?
It's a loaded question, but you got it.
Give a 2-minute summary.
Can you give a summary of who the hell you are? Like why you're even on the podcast? Who's Dan Snow?
I don't like to define myself by my businesses, but I'm joking.
That's a good short right there.
I've been in the online social media advertising e-commerce landscape for over 10 years now, which is pretty crazy. Since December of 2012, I got started.
Wow. I was in like elementary school.
I was 19 years old, and I was in school to be a dentist, and it all started from a conversation I had at the gym during winter break my sophomore year of college, and my friend told me that he was making $45 a week on his phone. I was like, what? You can make money on your phone? No fucking way. Like, I was blown away. So you're making almost $3,000 a year or whatever, I was like, that was crazy to me. Just because this was 2012.
That's
like,
true.
There was no communities, there was no gurus, there's no people selling ads. Let me take my course. Let me show you
like iPhone 3GS or something.
No YouTube, none of that existed, So like, it was complete shock to me. So I left the gym and I made a Twitter account with the intention of making $45 a week. That was my goal. So from there, I got into growing audiences on Twitter. Eventually that summer I was making $100 a day and I was like, this is amazing. I have life figured out. And then
at 19.
Yeah, 19.
That's not bad.
I turned 20 in May.
Were you in college at all?
I was in college.
Got you.
So for me, it was just like spending money, for
the bar and everything.
Exactly. Like I didn't have a job. I didn't have enough time to get a job. So I was like, that's what it represented to me. Anyways, from there, I started taking a lot more serious my junior year of college and just took things to the next level. So before I was making money, just sending traffic to other people's, websites or eCom or affiliates, stuff like that. And then the inflection point was in a transition to me kind of creating my own property. So got into apps, had a few really successful apps, content blogs, even my own little smaller brands at the time. And then things really took off. Summer going to my senior year of college, I created my own self-serve ad platform called Caffeine Digital. That year, we did over $8 million in revenue. And
how old were you?
I was 21.
Damn. 21.
Yeah.
8 million rev. Jeez.
So that year I paid over 7 figures in taxes, and I was like, to put things in perspective, and I was like, oh my God, like
I got to buy some real estate.
yeah, I bought real estate. So it was crazy. My life transitioned really fucking fast. Didn't go to dental school, and said I'll give myself a year to see where this online thing goes. I was definitely hesitant that I could continue that trajectory that I had that year. So there's definitely a lot of uncertainty around like my future and what I'm going to do forever. I mean, I was super passionate about what I was doing, creating businesses, stuff like that. Anyways, that led me into creating my own brands, my own decided portfolio of brands. GoatCase, PerfectSculpt were 2 of the larger ones. Now we have Klora and some other ones. Sold the brands in 2019. Launched an agency. Agency is now acquired as well. And now I'm full-time focused on RapTV, which is my other media business that I had launched in 2017.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
So you have your hands in a lot of things over the years.
Over the years, yeah. Now I'm trying to consolidate. Want to focus. It's really hard to do multiple things really well.
What do you think was like, first of all, who was the friend who like put you onto all this too? Like give him a little shout out if you can. I don't know if you're friends with
friend Peter Tortatore. We actually went to the gym the last 2 days over here in New York City. So it's pretty funny. But the other cool thing is that when that conversation happened, I was with my other friend, and now that also changed his life too, because he from that, he started doing the Twitter thing, but he always wanted to be more in front of the camera. I more so wanted to grow businesses. And he's now a huge YouTuber.
Oh, damn.
He's got like 3 million YouTube subscribers.
Jeez.
So just from that conversation, that it's cool to see like he went his lane. He's really happy about that. I went mine, and it both ended up working out just from that chance conversation. So
yeah, that's why your circle's so important.
Yeah,
for sure. What do you actually, probably that's the piece of the success. Like, what do you think caused all this success that happened? Was it like your circle, the people around you? Like, is it you? Is it like luck? Like, what do you think it is?
My circle didn't help. I mean, I would say, especially when I started, once again, keep in mind, like the social media landscape isn't how it is today. Like, if anything, my friend circle more so like mocked me, didn't support me, than like
makes sense, yeah,
supported me. And also there wasn't like entrepreneurship and all this other thing wasn't as accessible as it is now. So it was always just me figuring shit out by myself, to be honest. But I would say the reason why I'm so successful is a big part of it is that, number one, I was really, really, really passionate in those early days. I mean, definitely still passionate, but for me back then was just like wake up, fucking pumped, going to sleep, pumped, like all day. I'd be on my phone. I was just like deep into it, and it didn't feel like work. I just loved I loved what I was doing. I just wanted to grow more, just pushing it every single day, 7 days a week. And that was my priority.
For sure.
And so good things happen. I was, super scrappy. I'm good at kind of like identifying opportunities, and just kept my head down and was able to constantly navigate and test new things and whatnot. And that's how I was able to have success in kind of different industries over time.
Definitely. I want to ask you about like GoatCases in that time period. Like what years was that type of stuff? Because like
GoatCase was July of 2016.
2016. And like you had a few brands at the same time while you were doing all that. Or was that just one brand?
GoatCase was the first brand.
Okay.
And then we launched like, the Twiddle Cubes and all that shit. we launched a little brand around that. I don't know if I call it a brand, a quick little thing, but we had sold a lot of them. PerfectSculpt came about February of 2017. Then we launched smaller brands. Like you said you had a beard company. We had that called Manscaped King.
Oh,
shortly after that, we had a toothbrush company. But the 2 larger ones were definitely GoatCase and PerfectSculpt. Then we had some dropship stuff we were even doing. But
so was this all like branded stuff, or like you had inventory and everything too?
The dropship stuff, we didn't have inventory.
Like all these other brands.
Other ones, we had inventory. We had our own warehouse. Yeah, we had our local warehouses. We're filling thousands of orders a day.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that. Damn. So
we fulfilled over 1 million orders.
Yourself, like not yourself, but like you and your team. It's like no 3PL.
Eventually, I always tell everyone the biggest mistake I ever made was fulfilling our own inventory.
Oh wow.
But
actually everyone listen to that one. If you need a 3PL, shipdudes.com.
Anyways, I tell everyone it's the biggest mistake I've ever made.
I'm actually curious why you say that.
Many reasons. Number one, it's stressful as fuck. Number two, especially if you have a brand that's growing really fast, your focus and attention is going to have to be on how do I fulfill this?
Yeah.
How do I staff this?
Yeah.
How do I deal with bullshit? People are stealing in the warehouse. I need more, I need more space. Now I need to move again. It's like an endless amount of issues.
Bullshit.
I remember my first Black Friday, I was fulfilling fucking orders.
Yeah. We should be running ads and like buying ads.
Yeah, we couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
We sold so much.
Damn.
Our first Black Friday, I don't know, we did over $1 million in revenue that weekend. And it was all hands on deck fulfilling fucking orders.
Yeah.
It's like, this is insane,
But
I gained weight. I got fucking stressed. I was like, this is terrible.
Back then, was it like a lot of Facebook ads or was it just like pages, like meme pages? Like what were you pumping with?
The first year we were doing a little Facebook ads. It was mainly through influencers and meme pages and stuff like that. This was when the feed was still chronological on Twitter and Instagram.
Gotcha.
So it was a lot more predictive and a lot more scalable,
Yeah.
and cheaper. So it was just like, we had a team of like 8 people just buying shout outs all day long.
When you say we also like, do you have any business partners or you just all by yourself?
So I've always had business partners. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Caffeine Digital, I had a business partner I met on a bodybuilding.com forum actually. And then GoatCase, I had a friend from college and my brother was my business partner. And then the agency, I have my brother was my business partner as well. And then RapTV was actually the only one that when I launched it, it was just me.
Interesting. Gotcha.
So I got a question. As far as like the brands and the agency, which came first? Like you running ads for other brands or so you learned how to do the media buying and growing companies through your own?
So why the hell did you start an agency? Why don't you just keep doing brands?
So the way I saw it was that so I continued to do brands.
Both.
I never saw it as like you can only do one thing exclusively. I more saw, to me, when I launched the agency, it was like a team and an infrastructure to allow me to take on opportunities as they came.
I see.
Whether it be getting creative and, partnering with someone who already has a brand and doing, discount services for equity, stuff like that, launching our own brand, having a team of people that ended up running our brands and was a client of our agency, which we ended up doing. We actually had another brand, Fem Detox, that we sold, and Klora as well. So point being is I never saw it as like you can only do one thing exclusively, but it's really hard. It definitely is hard to do both simultaneously if you want to have a presence in both.
For sure.
It's hard to do one of them individually, let alone both.
Yeah.
So,
and what was your goal with all these things? Just like generate sales and revenue? Was it to like exit these things? Was it just like build a company?
I'm someone that's like, I heard a quote one time. It's like, you want to build a company that can get acquired, but you don't necessarily need to, you build it with the intention of, without the intention of getting acquired, but you want to build a company that can get acquired.
Makes sense.
So that's kind of my mentality is like, let me keep building these things. And if some other, if my life changes, my interest changes, something else, then it's like, if the company is in a good enough place, then someone's going to be interested in buying it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because too many people focus on the valuation before they even dial in the cash flow. And they're just like, oh, I'm only going to start this in anticipation of exiting. But then they might be losing money month over month. And then now you can't sell it and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That also, the way you're managing the finances, the reporting, all that stuff is super important. As we found out, especially with the selling of the agency, but we definitely did a good job throughout the time period. But if we didn't, it would have been a complete nightmare. Hard selling a business, the amount of
bullshit,
bullshit, work, accounting that goes into it is, every detail you could think of.
Damn, that's great. And I'm actually curious because I think D2C's in a weird spot right now where it's not working too well. For most brands, for most it's tough. Facebook's shot. Costs are going up, shipping's going up, everything's going up. Back then though, what do you think the reason was the success for those brands?
I think that number one is creative. We were really early on into leveraging UGC and influencers and
2016, 2017.
Pre-sell articles and a bunch of things that are commonplace today. We were really early on. And that coupled with finding good products that, have product market fit is just how you can quickly grow brands. But I think that if we were to do the same thing today, it would be much harder because of how much harder Facebook is with just like ad approvals, how much harder it's gotten for acquiring customers for new brands. So the D2C landscape has definitely gotten harder. I think there's still a ton of opportunity, but it's just like, whereas before, smaller ticket items were kind of like what a lot of people had success with. I think that shifted to now
higher AOV, longer LTV.
Exactly. Yeah. So higher AOV or products that have subscription component. Like those are the two things I'm seeing our clients and other brands have a lot of success with.
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm assuming you're pushing brands to do that with the agency right now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like higher AOVs, make bundles, like sell subscription products, all this shit.
Yeah. But only if the subscription makes sense. Like I've seen people get into trouble forcing subscription, and then they compromise something, whether it's like a big discount in first order, et cetera. And then the numbers end up just never working out because people don't stay on subscription long enough. And then you have a shit LTV. Yeah. And that takes 12 plus months to figure out what that's going to be. Yeah. So, yeah.
For sure. Did you ever raise any money for any of this shit? Or it's all just out of your pocket?
We raised some money for Klora.
Okay.
Was the first time we raised some money so that we could, build a team the right way up front and
get some risk.
And do branding. A lot of the things that we've compromised in the past up front, we were able to do for Klora, but everything else, no, I never took money for anything else.
For sure. Let's pivot to the agency. I'm curious.
Well, I wanted to talk about RapTV real quick because I wanted to say something.
I want to hit him last. I want to RapTV for like 25 minutes. Yeah, that's mad interesting.
All right, then you can ask.
I was gonna go like brand, agency, and RapTV.
Go for it.
Like agency, like. So you started that up like what, 2017, 2018?
2019.
Sorry. Fucked up. I'm bad with the years. What was the thought process with that? You were like, let's add another thing on top of the brands pretty much to help other brands scale?
Well, my brands had got acquired.
Oh, okay.
I sold GoatCase, sold PerfectSculpt, sold other, dropship brands, stuff like that. So our first clients were actually the brands that we sold.
That's funny.
Oh, wow.
So instead of them taking the team, we were able to just manage that as a service.
Damn.
And even before that, because we had a team of media buyers, I think we had like 5 or 6 media buyers, we had taken on like 2 or 3 clients just to offset some of their salaries and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we were already kind of doing that as a service in a smaller way. It wasn't trying to scale it until we had sold the brands. And I just thought that an agency might be interesting to me because what I enjoy most is the scaling of brands and applying, my creativity and marketing angles and all that stuff to other brands, other businesses. Love meeting new entrepreneurs, love networking. So I thought it might really match with my interests and keep me engaged every day. I found that when running my 1 or 2 brands over the span of 4 years, just got monotonous.
Yeah.
And I definitely lost excitement for selling cell phone cases and bras for 4 straight years. It's just like, and that's why I definitely give credit to people who can run one brand for like their whole career. Like to me, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was my inspiration, and that was why I was initially interested in launching an agency.
And then my next question: how'd you grow the agency? Like, what was your like strategy to grow it in a sense? Was it just like all referral based? Like, was a lot of sales you guys did? Like how'd you get to exiting to where you're at right now?
So up front, I had the hardest part we achieved, which is establishing a reputation and credibility in the space. Not just from our brands, but also from Caffeine Digital, which I told you about, and RapTV, and all the other social pages I braid. So it's like I had already touched different contact points, so to speak, with thousands of people. So when I created Caffeine Digital, for a lot of people, that was the first big money they made on social media. So that was my platform. I brought that to them. So that's how people remembered me. And even when we started reaching out to some other brands as an agency, when we just started doing outbound, we had one client who ended up being one of our bigger clients who literally said, thank you, Jesus, for reaching out to me. What you did at PerfectSculpt inspired me to launch my own brand.
Damn.
So we had multiple people see that huge success we had. And when it was time for us to do it for other people, it was like, our body of work spoke for itself.
For sure.
So it was actually really easy for us to scale up getting clients.
Definitely. And would you recommend people to start an agency in a sense? Because like I
think when I honestly get really jaded when people start agencies before they've done it, had success, because to me it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, how are you doing it as a service before you've even
done it
figured it out?
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to pay an agency to be the expert. If you're not truly an expert or you haven't had big success,
you're learning on the job.
You're learning on like it does. Like, and I see now all these people selling courses. Oh, launch your own agency. Like that literally doesn't make any sense.
We talk about Iman all the time on the pod. You know, Iman Gadzi. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He like teaches a lot on like how to like scale your agency, pretty much.
Yeah.
But like
he built an agency, then started selling a course, and then stopped actually running the agency.
Yeah. So like
making so much with the course.
He's making so much with the course. People who make more with the course.
He's super smart.
Yeah. Really smart.
I don't know too much about him, but I don't think it's smart for people to. I think if anything, you know, my biggest advice for people for people would be to like go work for someone that you aspire or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I always say like, I would say the biggest thing that held me back throughout my career, maybe held me back, I don't know if the right word, but yeah, maybe would be that I never worked for anyone. I've always been an entrepreneur. My last job was folding silverware at PF Chang's, you know?
Nice.
So I was never able to take what I had learned in different areas and apply it to my business. That was all through conversation and through experience and through kind of networking and reading and stuff like that. But like, I think that people who do have that experience have a huge advantage.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So I don't think enough people kind of like see it
work a little
that
bit.
way.
Yeah, and you kind of have to just like lower your ego a little bit.
Totally.
For someone.
Yeah.
Learn. Yeah.
I got my agent stuff. Go with the RapTV now. I'm chilling.
So it's gonna be a controversially approached question, so we could use it for the shorts.
It's all for the clips.
But how does a white boy from New Jersey end up growing the largest hip hop Instagram account, news outlet,
media
network,
company,
RapTV in the world and all of social media?
Good question.
You know, first off, I've always loved rap. And it started from a few things. Number one is that I had already created a really large following on social media, Twitter and Instagram. I actually created WorldStar on Instagram before they did.
Oh, shit.
That was the first like Instagram page I made. Funny WorldStar. It gained 1 million followers in 2 months.
Really?
Wow.
WorldStar didn't even have an Instagram page yet.
Oh, damn.
And we had like 2 million followers, super active. And Q, before he died, made us change the name because now WorldStar was growing on Instagram. And so I already had the audience.
Oh, he made you change the name?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. That's the story.
Yeah. Changed it to Savage Comedy. So I already had a similar audience. And I noticed, and at that point, I had already created a lot of the brands we mentioned, made a lot of money. So my mindset shifted from let me make quick cash to let me create a brand that has equity, something
like
that matters, something people care about, something I'm interested in building over time, not just a meme page. I wasn't no longer interested in that. So I was just like kind of like observing and noticed that there was a lot of opportunity in rap. Number one, that as a rap fan myself, like I can never keep up with what's going on. Even with rap, like there's still so much going on in the world of rap. It's impossible to keep up with everyone. Like there's still, even another day, like someone like, oh, do you know this artist? I'm like, I never heard of him. He had 5 million monthly listeners on Spotify, which is pretty big, but it just shows you like how many people there are, or how many rappers there are in this space. Point being is that I saw an opportunity to kind of aggregate everything for what's going on to the average rap fan, where it would be original content, not just like reposting memes and stuff like that. So it would be growing an actual fan base and kind of like making ourselves leaders in the space. And number two, no one was doing it. There was no one that was focusing on, should we keep?
Yeah, just keep going. Okay. We've done crazy.
We'll wait for it to stop. I got one of these on my
Dan went to the bathroom mid podcast last time,
like
so you're good.
We had I have the company Liquid Death.
Yeah.
The water. So we have the sparkling water on I have it on subscription. This man went through maybe 8 of them.
So he went to the bathroom 3 times during the podcast. We would just like stand up, keep talking. He would go to the bathroom.
No exaggeration.
You'll watch it. Like
you'll see it.
His one's right before yours. You'll see. Dan Silva. 8. Yeah, you just like kept going.
I've never seen anything like it.
Where were we?
Anyways,
RapTV though, right?
Okay, so number 2, no one had really done a good job, or even on any scale, kind of like aggregating news on rap or creating a defined rap audience on social media. Sure, there was all the blogs and stuff at the time, but specific to social media, you know, Twitter, Instagram, now TikTok. TikTok didn't even exist yet, but no one was doing it. Like,
for sure,
Complex wasn't doing it, World Star wasn't doing it, the Shade Room wasn't doing it, Baller, like none of the larger brands were doing it. So there's a big opportunity, and finally, like, how do rappers grow their audience? How do they get famous? How do they get streams? How do they, all that stuff? They? Social media.
Yeah, that's true.
So where do they go?
SoundCloud, Spotify.
So where do they go? They're buying shout outs off like meme pages and
that's
comedy pages and stuff.
That's true.
So there was like every checkbox I saw, it was like a way where I can create.
So the SoundCloud rapper goes to RapTV and just blows up pretty much. That's
I mean that's you look how many rappers get famous and whatnot. A lot of that's through social media. Like you saw, even like 6ix9ine, like that's such a good example. He came out of nowhere, and what he had before all that stuff happened, he had 6 or 7 number 1 hits, some crazy. How all through Instagram, he was just doing crazy shit. You know, rap is interesting where it's like not just the music, it's the personality.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like do
people ask you all the time, like, how the hell do you grow these fucking things? Is that a question you get a lot? Like, how do you make a page like with millions of followers? Like, what's the answer to that? Like, actually,
the answer is just number 1 is consistency. I think it's not just with us, but anyone on social media. It's just consistency, because every single, there's no like magical. Maybe if you're on TikTok now, you might have a TikTok getting like 100,000 followers or whatever. Really, but beforehand, and even with TikTok, like every platform rewards consistency. So every day, it's more so like we know if we post, at least on our Instagram rap, like 30, 40 times a day, we'll gain 5,000, 10,000 followers, just because enough people share it, comment, tag people, whatever. And, you do that for 7 years, and, you get a big following from it.
You guys post like 34 times a day?
Just on the one Instagram, yeah.
Wow. Really? We got to start doing that with the podcast.
We're getting there.
So people don't get like annoyed of like all this content.
Yeah, we get a lot of unfollows, but we
people who like
more
it
people
stick with it. I see what you're saying.
So how important do you think that the initial like posting of, let's say you put a story, or you put more so a feed post in the initial, most people say in the first hour, 2 hours, how it responds in the algorithm is how it's going to do completely, like long term. So like, have you ever done any like engagement, like pods to where you'll collaborate with other accounts and just comment on each other's stuff?
I actually think that
does more
stuff
harm.
Hurts more over time, because the engagement pods become your kind of like baseline of how Instagram sees your account.
Right.
So it's like, if it goes above that baseline in terms of initial engagement, then they'll push it out. But if your baseline is all this like artificial engagement, then you fuck yourself when you're not doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
So over time, I think that it hurts way more than it helps.
So
and that's why like all these like, little hacks people have done for like, people, all this crazy shit over time. Like people used to do like, you post location in Singapore and you get all this crazy engagement. No, seriously, that was like a hack back in the day. Or like you like create a photo into a video, and like people are watching it more. So that it's like all these things, I just have actually tried to avoid them, because over time, the people who do that, it's like you see they have shitty engagement over time. And I think that's because like the way that the platforms see their engagement is so kind of all over the place.
Are you ever scared of like a platform risk type of thing, where like IG just like changes up on you? And
I mean, IG has changed a million times on us, but I think over time they reward people who have the best engagement. So I've always had that kind of like long-term view in mind.
Definitely.
That's why I never sold, shout outs to NFTs that were offering us $100,000 a post, shit like that.
Shit. That's crazy.
So I always kind of had that long-term view in mind. And never took like short-term gains that could screw our audience and fan base and community over.
Yo, honestly, I was more interested in like brands in the agency, but this is more interesting to me now. The RapTV, like,
yeah, that's one of your big focuses now, right? Like,
Yeah,
almost-
absolutely.
like what's so it kind of connects me to like, you know, like Morning Brew, like how like they just killed it. It's kind of like very similar in like the business model in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Just like grow an audience and then like sell ads to that audience.
Yeah,
in a sense,
exactly.
Right? Similar concept,
Yeah.
right?
It's the eyeballs.
So,
It's the
like,
value.
where do you? So the audience is mostly on IG, or do you push them to other places right now too?
IG's our biggest, or TikTok is similar, but IG is definitely the most engaged and consistent because, you know, the TikTok algorithm is so all over the place.
Sporadic, yeah.
But Instagram, we have close to 20 million followers. TikTok, we have around 20 million. Those are the two biggest. Twitter, we have like 2 million.
Question. So if I was starting like today, right, and want to do something like this, I feel like upfront there'd be a lot of cost to like grow, right? Because you need to have someone posting all day, building content. There's actually like a real barrier to entry to get to this point, right?
At this point, it's like near impossible to grow from zero. It's because someone, especially let's say in specifically rap, let's say there's like 1 million people doing
No, for sure.
doing it. And at the end of the day, like a lot of people are reporting on the same stuff now. So how do you differentiate? It's really, you have to be a creator.
Interesting. But like if you were to find like one, like for example, Morning Brew does business, like Milk Road, I don't know if you heard of Milk Road, does like crypto. So if you find like one niche or like rap, for example.
I think that if I were to do it from zero, I would find a more specialized niche
It's like
than going broad.
Like one that's like up and coming or like
Not even
newer?
up and coming, like you know, you mentioned Morning Brew, like they have, you know, or even other guys in the space, like specific a D2C
newsletter.
newsletter.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
or like, you know, I don't know, other niches like that, like
for sure.
a niche for, I don't know, like doctors learning how to, you know, grow their business. I don't know, stuff like that, where it's like, it doesn't need to be as broad because those are a lot more valuable. Even the example you were giving me about the other guy who had only a few thousand subscribers and made millions of dollars from that newsletter.
Yeah,
So
100%.
that's probably the direction I would go if I were starting.
Have you ever heard of Agora by any chance?
Yeah.
You have, right? So like on the last podcast, we were talking about that thing, and like this whole media world is actually kind of nuts, like how much money you can make on this thing. Because it's pretty much like you build your audience and then you just have a sales team that just sells ads all day.
Exactly. There's no costs.
Yeah. So like you guys just have a sales team pretty much that sells
We actually
ads
only
all
have
day.
one person on the sales team, which is not good.
That's not good. Okay.
Not
It's also like nice that
That's
it's
actually
lean
kind of
though.
sick. That's pretty lean.
Yeah, but it's like too lean. Like we're leaving
Yeah.
so much money on the table by only having one person.
Right.
Interesting.
We should have more.
And then how do you create like more ad placements too? 'Cause that's probably another thing too, like ad inventory and stuff like that.
Definitely, totally. So it's like creating new content ideas. Now trying to sign talent, stuff like that. You know, editorial that allows brands to kind of like get those placements.
Yeah, I'm like, you got my wheels spinning right now.
Like Dan was saying, De Silva was saying that like these financial institutions were paying upwards of $20, $30 for one email.
Yeah, like he was saying Morning Brew. I don't know if this is true or not, but he was saying like Morning Brew is paying like $20. It's like acquire one email because they knew on the back end they had
$20
per email. So like if
I don't
that's
know
how
if
much
true
an
or
email
not.
worth,
This is like through hearsay, but like honestly, it could be because like
it probably is.
Because
I know
I know-
he was literally Dan was getting paid to as like an affiliate. Like there were affiliate
$20?
offers where they would get up to $20 for a high value email. Because think about like an NFT launch or like anything financial related. Like it's normal to like mint one NFT for like a couple $100. So like if you have,
we could do the math. You know, Morning Brew, I think last time I heard they had like 2 million opens around that per email.
Damn.
And they sold for $75 million.
So how do you do the math on this thing?
The email that is for, they also had multiple newsletters and other podcasts and all that
I
shit.
guess per email.
Let's just, so I was saying, let's just remove all that. Let's just say they didn't have any of that. It was just the one newsletter, which is not true. Then according to that, each email open would be worth
a couple dollars,
$30 something. But let's say they have a 50% open rate. I mean, that'd be crazy if they have that. Let's just say 40% open rate. Then it's like, if they have 2 million opens, then that list is really probably like 5 million people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So then it'd only be worth less, but
yeah, but like, still, I know like just like owning that audience and like owning like that persona is like low-key pretty fucking valuable. Like no one thinks about it. Like, everyone thinks like e-commerce in our space and like ads and Facebook, but like that's a whole nother world.
Yeah. I mean, because it's first party data.
What do you mean by that?
Like you own the email for those people and that's valuable.
So what else does RapTV own other than the IG page? Like, is there more to it?
Well, we have many IG pages.
Okay.
For different verticals. So we've expanded into gaming, into reggaeton, into pop music.
Shit.
And that's all you're
Into
classifying all that under
fashion,
RapTV.
And you got one guy selling ads for all this.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that
so
would
you're
make
not-
sense
now
that
you
you
need
need more.
salespeople.
You need like one
Yeah.
per.
Yeah. That's just Instagram. Then on TikTok, we have the same setup. Twitter, same setup. Facebook, YouTube. We have newsletters now.
So how many people are in the whole company?
I think we have around 15 full time right now, and we have another like 30 or so contractors.
And what do most people do like day to day, like running a media company?
coordinate
in a
the
sense?
posts.
Yeah,
Coordinate
so we
posts.
have many page managers,
Yeah.
editors, writers, hosts,
Is there like a blog and everything too?
sales.
There's like a website.
We have a blog, but we haven't actually been focusing on it lately. Content. We're doing original video content now. We have a studio, so
Damn.
yeah.
So what do you do?
That's a good question.
I help with biz dev,
Okay.
so identifying new areas of opportunity, management. So I manage
People.
the
Yeah.
department heads and whatnot, new initiatives. I kind of set the different kind of goals for the company, different directions we want to go. And then just I would say just general kind of like strategic management.
Did you ever think it would get this big?
I definitely thought it had potential to get this big. Yeah.
And this is your biggest project, I'm assuming, right? Like RapTV, like has the most potential to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
What's in your
Definitely
head?
not the biggest. Well, it's the biggest. It's not the biggest I've done in terms of revenue, but it's definitely the biggest opportunity.
Like what's the next phases that you're trying to like? 'Cause I know you said you sold the agency and stuff like that. Like what's the next kind of stuff you're trying to do?
I'm really just focusing on RapTV.
like what are you trying to do? How are you trying to make it big? Like what are you trying to do? Just post more content, stuff like that?
I think that the next phase for us is focusing on long form original content series. So
Podcasts.
so that podcasts, getting into the live event space, signing and growing our own personalities, having kind of like a network of that, and building around that. I think that if we're able to do that, especially through Rap and all the other verticals I mentioned, we're in a really good space.
Interesting. Funny enough, you say that. I have a buddy. He runs like a few YouTube channels. His biggest one's called like Finance Zone. Pretty much what happened, long story short, he had a YouTube channel that taught people how to like drive Uber and Lyft. And like he got up to like 100K subs on YouTube.
Just teaching people how to become a driver?
Yeah. And there was a time where Uber and Lyft had like a shortage in drivers. So they would pay him like $1,000 to $2,000 referral fee for every driver he got signed up.
What?
Yeah.
So he'd make like YouTube rev and then also would make like,
That's insane.
Uber. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
I'm saying about like the niche content.
Niche
Like,
content.
it's insane.
But then listen to this.
That's crazy. Who the fuck, who would think about that?
It's just crazy. Like, but his name is Dylan. The kid's a genius right now. So I met him in college at Berkeley when I was in college. And funny enough, like the kid's from California, like super liberal and everything. And then when Trump was running for president, for some reason, he put up one video, like a Trump type of video, like, oh, like go Trump, some bullshit like that. And it was his biggest video ever. And he was like, whoa, this is like kind of crazy. Like maybe like if I have just Trump in the title and stuff, shit would just go crazy. So he built a second channel. I don't know why he called it, but he called it like the Finance Hub. And he just started pumping out just Trump videos all day. And in the beginning, it was just him. And he would just literally take an article, like go on Google, type in like Donald Trump and just read the article. Like 15 minutes, just read the article. Literally like word for word. And just like you put a button down shirt in front of the camera, just read it. Like he's like
I see the same opportunity on TikTok.
It's the same type of shit.
Like the tweet. I don't know how many people do it, but just like people create tweet threads all fucking day.
All day.
That's
all
a
day.
TikTok script.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but then
I always wanted to just do that.
But then to your point of hiring like talent, what he did after was like, all right, how do I scale this shit? So he just went on like he pretty much went on like casting Facebook groups, people who like wanted to be actors and were like, hey, like I'll give you like $50 a video. All you got to do is like stand in front of a camera and read an article.
Read this.
So then he went from like 0 to like, I think 400, 500K subs in like a few months.
What?
Got people onto Patreon paying him. Then he put a PO box in his description and people were sending envelopes of cash. And it was all like in support of the cause. Like that was the whole like,
oh my
we're going to get him on. He's a homie of mine, like Dylan, like he actually pushed us to do this thing. Cause he was like,
really?
Get on fucking YouTube, like trust, like it works over time. And I was
Have you had any YouTube videos pop off?
Our best one, not too bad. It's like 2K views.
It's hard.
It's hard.
We're only 90 days in though. So like
9 days in.
Another 90 days, we'll have one that does 20 or 30.
Yeah, we had some TikToks that went pretty viral, like
500,000.
They were figuring out. But like you said, we're trying to post content all day, like 3-4 posts a day type of thing. Like we're gonna cut this all up and make little shorts and all this from that. We have like a guy who does that. But like Dylan, literally, he just kept hiring these people. And then he went from like the finance hub to like the political hub. Then he went to the crypto hub, and he just did the same shit over and over and over again.
So smart.
And he was like, yeah, he was just making 200, 300K a month.
It's just a system at that point.
It was just a system.
Create a system.
He wouldn't make any more videos. It was just like, hey, like, here's the, like, he would just make titles. He'd be like, here's the title, like, go make a video. Boom.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, same idea with like RapTV.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys just hire the people to like make the videos, make the titles or something, and just go.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a crazy model. I told him, honestly, you should sell ads. And then he started selling ads. I think it's like $15K a month per ad spot type of thing. And then he just has like sponsored by blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's just like nuts how the media world works. And no one talks about it. Everyone talks about D2C and Shopify.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. This is more interesting sometimes.
Yeah, go where people aren't.
And I think the beauty of what you do, like the RapTV stuff, is like you own more of it than like on the e-commerce end. 'Cause I feel like in e-commerce, you're like at like Zuckerberg holds you by the balls in a sense a lot of the time, especially if you put all your eggs in that basket, while you like own the actual media. And like the way you did GoatCase is like you own the pages and then also bought the ads from your pages for your e-commerce stores. Is like it's just like you own the audience, right?
Yeah.
You guys have a newsletter?
We actually, so we were testing it in November and December. We had to change some things, so we just relaunched it again last month.
But even that, for example, like I launched one called Weekly eCom. I have like a newsletter called Weekly eCom.
Okay.
It's just like,
And are you writing it all?
No, I just paid someone like $100, like write it. Like in the beginning we wrote it, and I just paid someone $100 to write it. It sounds like morning brew type of thing.
Really, it's good.
Yeah, it's like it's not that hard to like. It's just like you find someone who like is like a bubbly person, they can write pretty well, and then like ad spots like $1,000, $2,000, like banner, like all this stuff, like small audience, like I don't know. The media world kind of like blows my mind sometimes. Yeah, like you kind of convinced me to kind of.
I think it's, at the end of the day, it's like media / being a creator. I think that like the creator economy, so to speak, is like where the future is. Like you look at these creators. I mean, you know, like Aiden Ross. I don't know. I don't think it's even true. There was like fake news going on. That's like he just signed a 2-year, $150 million streaming deal with Kick. I don't think it's true, but
I would believe
he's going to get a huge deal somewhere to be exclusive.
That's nuts.
And it's like this kid was a normal kid not too long ago, you know. He's
even Steve Will Do It, for example. Is another one. Yeah.
It's like once you, I think that's the direction people like. Just that creator economy is
for sure. Actually, next topic on that one, because like you're gonna hire people to like make content for you. How do you make it not happen where like Call Her Daddy happened with Dave Portnoy? You saw that where like they Call Her Daddy, like that was like a podcast they had they own, like it blew up. And then like she left and went to Spotify, and Portnoy was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I
think it's impossible to avoid completely over time.
Yeah,
I think it's the same way as like professional athletes. Like you're on a rookie deal, you're Brock Purdy or whatever the fuck his name is, last pick of the draft. You making no fucking money, but now he's gonna get a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
And if 49ers don't want to pay, he's gonna go somewhere else.
It is what it is.
That's the media space too. Same exact thing.
Yeah.
You sign Call Her Daddy for $70,000 a year salary because they're no one. Well, now they're fucking, A-list podcasters. You got to either pay up or they're going to get a bag somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if you don't put that in the contract, different like things, then you're not protecting yourself and you allow that to happen. And that happens.
Yeah. Contracts are important. So,
it's like not just like the influencer space, but it's everything, even on TV, like, you don't, Joe Rogan, like Joe Rogan went from, he signed with Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I think it sucks ass because you grow these people, but it's just the reality of
they want to go
the world,
get bigger and bigger bags, so they get more famous too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like if you're able to continue giving, finding a win-win scenarios, that's obviously ideal for everyone.
Most definitely.
What's some of the tech that you use or softwares in order to either automate the scheduling process of posts or like to manage your team? I'm always curious. Like Monday, Asana, ClickUp. Like, are there any social platforms that help,
you're on Slack
help your team?
Like, we use Slack, Notion, and Asana. Although I prefer ClickUp. But we don't use anything to schedule posts. We'll actually use Later to schedule posts, but most of our posts are news-based and in real time.
Yeah.
So you can't schedule that. It's like, what's going on right now? We need to get that up right now. But we do some more like editorial evergreen type stuff we use just like later to schedule.
Oh, so these people are like full-time employees that are like looking for stuff at all times.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And I have people in every time zone.
Oh, shoot.
So we're posting 24
absolutely,
hours.
Damn. What's like the biggest person you've blown up on RapTV? Can you talk about that or no?
The biggest person we've blown up.
Yeah, like rapper.
Like that's blown up because of you.
It's always impossible to say people blew up because of us.
You just kind of helped them a little bit.
Yeah, but I would say in the early stages, like Kid Leroy definitely comes to mind.
Damn.
Wow.
Whereas like we were posting him and doing even on our YouTube, like we have multiple interviews with him on YouTube. He's literally like, I don't know, 14, 15 or
That's
something.
crazy.
So we were super early on with him. Jack Harlow too. Super early. I actually have a Jack Harlow plaque on his What's Poppin'.
That's
Wow.
Because like our team went to like his first, concerts. Like I remember they showed me his Instagram when he had like 50,000 followers. And I'm like, why are you guys posting this guy's freestyle? Like, who the fuck is this guy? And our team was like, no, he's good. Like, believe me.
Yeah.
Like, so we definitely showed him a ton of love before he became Jack Harlow. He just looked some like kind of like nerdy white dude.
Random
from
white
Kentucky,
guy.
They both came out quick. Like what? Like 3 years?
Yeah.
Like they've only really been
And then I
around
would
for
say
a few years.
Corday too. We definitely posted a ton of Corday. He showed us a ton of love in his early days too. So I would say those three artists come to mind.
And what's the mix of like, because these people probably weren't paying for these shout outs. Like you guys actually thought they were good artists and you wanted to like push them out.
Mixture.
Mixture. Okay. I was going to ask like, are they buying these ads or are you guys like actually
Mixture,
these are good?
combo for
Okay.
sure, yeah.
You have to find a good balance and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Do you have to put that hashtag ad bullshit too and everything? Is that like a thing you've done really?
It depends.
regulations.
It depends
Yeah.
on what we're doing.
Makes sense. Yeah. Dude, that's do people, back to this question. Do they know you're like a random white boy from New Jersey, like running this like rap big? This is kind of crazy.
I mean, you're public and open about it. Like,
yeah.
that you own it, but
Like I'm sure big like
famous.
famous rap people in the industry are just like, who the fuck? What the fuck?
I don't think everyone in the rap in the industry like knows me personally. I'm public about it. I don't go out of my way to send attention to myself for that,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I prefer being behind the scenes.
Yeah. But it's definitely, even my friends say it's hilarious. Like that.
Have you ever like pulled
Yeah.
out your phone and been like, yo, look how many followers I got like on an account? Have you done that?
I
Like
don't-
with
I
a
don't
girl
do
or
that.
none of that type of stuff? I've seen Milk do that. They're like
Oh,
they'll
really?
meet some girl and they'll be like, hey, like give me
That's
your
why they don't have any quality girls around them.
yeah. Like follow
But
me.
I do find it funny though, like when girls or whatever say, "What do you do?" It's like
That's a hard
I
question.
know
to
you
answer.
on Insta, like you follow me on Instagram. It's literally in my fucking bio. Like, what do you mean? What do I do?
I
like,
work at McDonald's. That's what you gotta
like, what do
say.
you? It's literally there. Like, so I always wonder, like, are people playing stupid or are they just
I don't know. Some
Yeah.
people probably just playing stupid. Like, what the fuck is this
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
just want to
doing?
hear it firsthand?
That's true.
But yeah,
That's funny. Damn. This
it's definitely cool to hear the reactions though. Like the other day, I was eating sushi and like omakase, and the person next to me, I was like explaining to them RapTV, and the sushi chef goes, "What? That's my favorite page. You run
No
RapTV?"
way.
And then like the
That's
busboy
nuts.
in the back was like, "You run RapTV? No fucking way!" So I like those reactions are priceless.
Yeah.
Like I still, it's still like weird for me, and that's why. That's also a big part of it. It's like, that's a signal, right? It's like, I have an agency. No one gives a fuck.
no one
Yeah,
cares. Yeah.
You get that reaction day to day. Like, that's like,
That's
to
pretty
me,
dope. You feel
meaningful.
good about
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, no one gives a crap about your agency or your warehouse or
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
your
no one
brand.
gives a
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
Probably brand they care more. Like GoatCases, like people knew that. Like when we were young, like
Yeah.
2015-ish, you
Yeah.
said? Like how old were we? We were like, I don't know,
15.
15, 16.
Yeah, it's
So like
crazy.
we were buying these things.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun because when Joe told me like Johnny's brother, he was like, he started cooking. I was like, oh shit, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
It's something in like the Jersey water that just fucking guys figure out. And everyone ends up in Miami. Actually, you made the move to Miami, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you make that move too?
I always wanted to escape New Jersey. I didn't want to go to college in New Jersey. Ended up going to college in New Jersey. I wanted to move to LA after college. Ended up, getting a longer term girlfriend. Ended up not being able to move. So just like ended up having offices, warehouses, all that shit. So I was like stuck in New Jersey. During COVID was the first time where people weren't coming to my office. So I was like, this is an opportunity for me to finally go somewhere. And obviously Florida doesn't have taxes. That was interesting. Also, Miami had a huge tech movement
Yep.
during COVID. So I saw that, especially because I had an agency, I saw it as an opportunity for me to get in early, so to speak, and be a part of that tech movement, be a part of that, kind of like euphoric moment of the city. And New Jersey fucking sucked. It's freezing, dark, gets cold at 4:30.
Snows like shit.
Everything's closed.
Yeah.
So I was just like, 2 weeks later, I got a furnished apartment. So I shipped my car down with all my shit in it and moved in. Boom. That was it.
And you love it.
Love it. First week I was there, I was like, this is amazing. I'm never going back to New Jersey.
So now you manage everything remotely though? Like everything's remote, or is there an office in Miami
everything's
too?
Everything's remote.
Oh, damn. Jeez. So all your employees are remote? There's no office for any of this stuff?
For the agency, we have an office in Miami. Not many people go in. We had a big office multiple big offices in New Jersey. We shut those down. And we still have our creative studio that exists. So those are offices. And then for RapTV, we just got a studio in LA that we're going to shoot content, podcasts, all that stuff out of.
Jeez, you got a lot of crap on your plate. Most people just do like the one thing and they just go, but you're just like,
what does your day look like?
Yeah, seriously.
A lot of meetings.
A lot of meetings.
Yeah.
Do you like the meetings or like you don't want the meetings?
Meetings suck.
The meetings do suck.
I don't love meetings.
I literally hire someone just to take the meetings. Like I just like.
You have to.
Yeah. Like what? Have to take the meetings?
Well, no, yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, as the CEO, it's like I'm no longer in the executionary role. Like besides maybe sales, where it's like, but I'm more so. We'll bring a deal, then let my team take it over.
You're meeting with all your employees all the time. Pretty much.
I'm not.
It's just team.
I'm not
a client facing.
Typically solely responsible for projects. My team should be running that because that's a low leverage activity for me to like own a project.
Yeah. But you do have like a focus on sales though.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean that's I think that's always part of the CEO's role is to like bring in new business and stuff like that. And that's always came really natural to me.
For sure.
So yeah.
Actually, give me a little sauce on that one. So like, as you were scaling like the agency stuff, I'm sure you did the sales in the beginning, right? Like
I hiring an experienced salesperson was one of the first hires I made.
Really?
Because I knew that sales just takes time.
Yeah.
It's fucking calls, it's follow-ups. You know what I mean? It's literally time on the calendar. So I knew that, especially in the early days, I wanted to be more focused on the marketing and building that up, making sure we were doing great work than just getting on calls all day. So
and you trust that he can close the deals and everything too? Like
there's a lot of training. Yeah. I was still closing deals as well, but more so like if I was getting, warm intros and stuff like that, passing a lot to him. There's certain scenarios where like I would take it depending on the relationship with the person sending it to, stuff like that. But definitely sent a lot his way. So that was one of the first hires I made just because I knew that I wanted to, you only have so much time in the day. And if I was doing all sales myself, then it would just, number one, I don't love doing sales all day. Number two, that would take away from me being early and involved in the services part.
That makes sense. Like you want to make sure the service is legit too.
Yeah.
The fulfillment. Yeah.
So definitely helped with sales, did a ton of sales, but that was one of my first hires for that reason.
Hiring's important. Managing the people is important. Yeah. Something we're trying to figure out day to day. Yeah. You're like
a lot of shit.
2 steps ahead of us on that one. Yeah. Dope.
So what's your morning routine look like? And do you believe in consistency in morning routines, or are you just like, I wake up and I go?
Yeah, totally. I work out every morning, most mornings if I'm not out too late. So like Monday to Friday, even on the weekend sometimes, I'm usually working out at like 6:30, 7 a.m. Whether it's like working out, doing a workout class, getting to tennis lately, cycling. So like that's kind of rotate between those things. That's really my morning is just really working out.
There's no like cold showers and all this like meditation and stuff. You do any of that stuff?
I do have in New Jersey, I had a sauna. So my routine would be work out, then do 15, 20 minutes in the sauna while doing deep breathing in it, like Wim Hof deep breathing, then shower. I fucking love that. But
this kid's never tried any of this type of shit, but I got him to do an ice bath.
We went to Arizona. He threw me in an ice bath like a month ago.
Feel
it was
great
pretty
after.
Sick.
I did ice bath.
The breathing is like similar to the ice bath because like that it's a feeling that you can't describe. Like if you look up like Wim Hof, like the Iceman, If you look up his, like the breathing techniques, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Well, it actually helps if you do the ice bath. Like you don't get as cold. It's pretty crazy what it does to your body.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I don't have the sauna anymore. There's no room for it in Miami. But now I have a red light wall.
You just go on your balcony and that's a sauna.
Yeah. But like red light therapy.
Okay.
So I have a wall of that in my guest bathroom, and I'll do 10 minutes, 15 minutes of meditation
Really?
while I'm standing in front of that.
You think there's all that
I
stuff
don't do that
helps
every
you?
morning, but there's science behind it for sure.
Yeah.
And meditation and red light therapy, sauna, cold exposure, all that. There's a ton of science around it. So it's not like I think. Like there's studies around it. Andrew Huberman goes over all that stuff in depth. But I think it also is really good. I definitely feel better when I do go a step further beyond just the gym, doing stuff like that. It just kind of like sets your mind right to start the day. But consistency, like you mentioned, is everything. You need to be more consistent with meditation. That's been my goal for like the last 3 years. Like get strict with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough when your mind's racing as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite place that you ever have traveled to or visited? Because I know you've been around.
Yeah. I would say the most fun place is Mykonos. But I would say the one that comes to mind that I enjoyed the most was Hawaii. But I went there for a yoga retreat.
Okay.
I don't even do that much yoga. But my friend, I was like, oh, I was like, whatever, I'll go. And so I was doing yoga all day, feeling loose, feeling amazing in Hawaii for the first time. I did a shark cage dive. I surfed. I did these like walks, hiked a volcano, played golf. So I was just like active doing shit all day while feeling super loose because I was doing yoga all day. Yeah. So it was just like the best awesome week ever.
And in Mykonos, you're just popping bottles and stuff.
Mykonos, you're just,
opposite. You're in Namos Beach Club. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, traveling is good though. I think traveling like actually helps you like get better and like meet more people and like see the world. Like even that experience of like shark diving, whatever you said, that's kind of crazy.
You grow in different ways outside of just business.
And you just have a broader perspective on life. Mm-hmm. You become a more interesting person as well from your experiences and the people you meet and different cultures you see and just the shit you experience. So last summer I did 6 weeks in Europe by myself. I was just doing a week in each city.
Oh, you did too.
I'll probably want to do that again.
What dates? Because I was there in July and August, like the whole 2 months.
July 29th to September 4th.
Oh shit. Where'd you go? I went to like a couple places in Italy. I went to France, Spain, Portugal.
Yeah, I did. So I did
what overlapped?
Paris, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Mykonos, and then Italy. I was in Naples, Ischia, Capri, and then Rome.
Yeah, we did. We did Naples, Amalfi Coast. We might have been. No,
Ischia was cool.
Yeah.
Do you go to Capri?
Nope. We just did. We did like Amalfi Coast, Positano. We did Naples, and we did like Florence, and then like Milan. Something about Lucca. I actually had extended family in Lucca. That was crazy. Like I saw people that like my mom hasn't seen since she was like a baby. Like my grandma. Like we were FaceTiming them. It was like they have this like they literally have a well like for their water system, and then they have like what do you call it? Fire stove. Like a brick oven.
So like a little. Like they're living in like a
stone oven. Not even brick.
And they're happy off like maybe making like $2,000 a month. It's crazy. And like that's the average salary in Italy is like $2,500 a month.
Yeah, $2,000 a month.
And then he came to Greece and he didn't come see me. That was kind of fucked.
He's from Greece.
I was there for like 2 months, and
I went to Santorini and I went to Milos and Paros.
Yeah, literally, I was at like there was 4 islands. I was in one, and he went to the 3 that I wasn't at. I was like, what the hell?
Because we just couldn't coordinate on time. Because I was coming from Paris, I think.
Yeah, you came from
I was going to either go to London or I was going to go to Greece straight from Paris. But London, the hotels were like $700 a night. And I'm like, even with points, I don't want to lose these many points to go see like, I don't know, New York City 2.0.
That's what no, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Milan, but that's why I went to all the cities was because living in New Jersey, I'm like, I don't want to go to more cities. But now I live in Miami.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm like, I don't need to be on more beaches. I want to go to the cities I've never been to.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami got beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
This was good though, dude. We appreciate you. Like, I don't want to take too much more of your time. This
it's
awesome.
Fun.
Like,
and you're leaving here on Friday, going back?
Going to Seaside to see my parents, and then going back on Sunday.
Nice. What's this whole trip forward to New York? Just like
We're my agency is doing an event tomorrow with Shopify.
okay.
So some of the tech partners, like you mentioned, Triple Whale, Recharge, stuff like that, are going to be there as well.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
I would definitely be there.
So
On Green
so
Street?
came in, So speaking at that event, and whenever there's a good reason for me to come for business, I love to come because see my close friends like
Definitely.
Daniel, some of my other friends from college, stuff like that. So it's always nice being back.
Dope. Appreciate you, man. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
This is another awesome episode of New Money Talk. What were we at? 19, right?
Episode 19.
19. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good stuff.
And you'll find all of his links somewhere in the description.
Actually,
You've got a lot of links.
you want people to find you, or like you don't even want
you
people to
can
find
me.
you?
Instagram, Dapper, Twitter. I am Dan Snow.
There you go.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't really post on TikTok yet, but maybe one day.
We'll get all those.
You might find him on the streets of Miami or something. This is awesome. Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.